I'm back. Hey, my last video seemed to generate a lot more subscribers and views than usual, so thanks for that.
Appreciate y'all.
So this time my Custodes face Adeptus Sororitas. We're playing a chapter-approved Eternal War mission, Vital Intelligence. There are 5 preset objective markers, 1 in each quarter and 1 in the center. You score victory points for controlling these, and a random marker each turn is worth 2 points instead of 1. Let's take a look at the armies. I'm not too sure about the sisters, so it's a very rough list. Shit in a hat and punch it. I'm sure there are some characters and whatnot in the sisters list that I've completely missed from the roster. Anyway, as you can see, it's Spearhead Assault. Sisters get the first turn. A 6 is also rolled for the objective markers, which makes all of them worth 2 points this turn. So in his first turn, he moves up like so. What the frickin' shiz are his repressors doing so far forward? Well, turns out they have a scout move, so combined with their normal move they're able to get all up in my grill. This is really frickin' bad news.
What else is there to do?
If I was made aware of the scout move beforehand, then I completely forgot about it during deployment. Not that I think I should have been informed, of course. If I wasn't, then the failure is still mine, as it stems from a lack of preparedness on my part, in not knowing what the enemy is capable of, or not asking. He directs all his shooting into my bikes, and kills 1 bike from each unit. Then, both of these bastard transports make their charge against each unit of bikes. This is a frickin' disastrous development, as unless my bikes can miraculously destroy the transports in this combat, they won't be able to charge anything next turn. Well, of course, the bikes aren't able to do it. Without rerolls to wound, it's far too much to be expected. Both transports survive with a few wounds to spare, and one of my bikes even suffers a wound. We won't tally up victory points from objectives until the end of my turn 1, though, so I do have the edge in that respect. Speaking of which, it's now my turn 1. So my jet bikes leave combat. Looking back, I think this was a mistake. I could have trapped the repressors in combat, and then even if I failed to kill them this turn, I'd be protected from shooting next turn, and could finish them off. Instead, 1 unit flies to the south, 1 unit to the center to claim the center objective, and my warlord flies here. I don't know why he moves here. I feel at a bit of a loss as to what to do, to be honest, having lost the ability to use my most potent assets in turn 1. I think my Teleman has been out of shot so far. He's just off screen, back here. In shooting, the southerly jet bikes manage to wipe out a squad of sisters, I think, and the central unit wipes out all but 2 of the Seraphim here. My Teleman targets one of the undamaged rhinos, but it turns out the buggers have a frickin' 4-up invulnerable save, thanks to Celestine and the warlord boosting their save. So combined with some other shooting, I only do 5 wounds to it.
Well, whoopee shit.
Oh, and I don't think my assassin manages to take anyone out. He couldn't even draw a bead on the enemy warlord, despite his excellent vantage point, due to a quirk of terrain in the exact placement of Celestine. Charge time, and my Vexilla and 1 unit of guard go against one of the repressors to try and finish it off. My warlord declares against the Rhino and Celestine in case he gets a big roll, which he does. Throwing caution to the wind, I decide to put Celestine to the test. I don't really know what she's like, but my warlord's a hard bastard, so I'm sure he'll be alright.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Well, my infantry do manage to finish off the repressor, and the passengers scurried to safety in the ruins. My warlord only manages to do 1 wound to Celestine and 1 wound to one of her bodyguards, but at least he doesn't suffer any wounds in return. Ha, no, wait. Celestine does some fucking prayer thing and fights a second time, and this time she lays the friggin' pain down, causing 4 wounds to my warlord.
I mean, how dare you?
So at the end of the round, I'm holding the central objective with my jet bikes, plus the 2 on my half of the board, as I have guard squad sitting on them, plus first blood. That's 7 points. Sisters just have the 2 objectives on their half of the board, so they're on 4 points. Sisters turn 2. This turn, objective 1 is worth 2 points. I couldn't find my 1 marker, so we're using 6 as 1, since 6 isn't needed in this scenario. It's up here, so potentially easy for sisters to keep hold of. The remaining repressor drives into my backfield here, and prepares to hose down my assassin with Flamer and Melta. Some more squads crowd around my central jet bikes too. Geez, and he still has his exorcists and retributors safe in the backfield. In shooting, the repressor and squad inside do their job and just about manage to take out the assassin. I lose 2 bikes from the squad down here, and the central squad of bikes gets completely destroyed.
You gotta be fucking kidding me!
A major factor in this was that I had 3 command points left, and I was refusing to spend any of them to re-roll a save, as I thought I might be able to pull off a sneaky charge on one of his units this turn, and turn back the tide a bit. This backfired somewhat, as nearly all the bikes died, rendering any such charge a waste. So, in the end I did spend a command point for a re-roll, and failed it anyway. In combat, my lone bike gets charged by a rhino, just to make sure he can't charge anyone else next turn I guess. My warlord also gets freaking killed by Celestine. What the fuck? He didn't make a single feel no pain save all game, which seems to be about par for the course for him to be honest. And I swear that fucking guy is addicted to rolling 2s for his saves. My turn 2. The lone jet bike flies to the central objective and my 2-foot guard also managed to get in range of it, although this puts them right by Celestine. This is my only chance of claiming the objective, though. I move another guard squad up to threaten this inexplicably still alive repressor, and you can see my shield captain has had to move up to ensure the objective is still held. In shooting, I figure the rhinos will still have a 4-up in Vun, so instead the Telemann switches to anti-infantry mode and attempts to dislodge a squad from an objective. It is okay, killing 5 of 7, but the squad survives. These guys charge the heavily wounded repressor and destroy it. The squad disembarks over towards the shield captain, and finally, Celestine heroically intervenes and slaughters my guards, so the gamble over here doesn't pay off as I don't have enough men to claim the objective. At the end of the turn, I just score my 2 home objectives, then, putting me on 9. Sisters score their 2 home ones and the bonus point for objective 1, the central objective, and slay the warlord, also bringing them up to 9 points.
All is right in the world. Absolutely the opposite.
Sisters turn 3, and here's movement. Of note, the squad whose transport was destroyed last turn advances menacingly towards my shield captain, and the objective he's holding. Celestine also flutters over the ruins and is poised to strike at one of my guardian squads.
My guardian squad.
Here's a wider shot where you can see all the nasties that are still left in Sister's deployment zone. So, in shooting, my shield captain gets a bunch of Melta to the face and promptly snuffs it, and my last remaining jet bike is also slain. Celestine slams into the guards, along with both of these transports. The transports stop the rearmost guard from being able to pile in to attack Celestine. Only one of the guards dies, but Celestine is unharmed. Finally, these sisters try a charge against the Telemann, but they fail the charge, and 3 die to Overwatch. My turn 3. The guards are trapped in place. I need to claim the objective near the Telemann, so it advances up and prepares to unleash hell upon the sisters. The only other unit I have on the table is this 3rd guard squad, who have done nothing all game except skulk in this building to hold this objective. So in shooting, I get a bit cocky. I split fire with the Telemann, as I hope to destroy these nearby sisters and also, to finish off one of his backfield squads and stop him from scoring one of his objectives. Oh, speaking of which, I think I forgot to mention that the bonus objective this turn is, once again, one of the ones in Sister's half. Well, the plan backfires, as I don't manage to kill the backfield squad, and I somehow only kill 2 of these 4 sisters. There's nothing for it, then, except to charge in with the big bastard and hope for the best. The utterly pillow-fisted Telemann only manages to kill 1 sister in combat, though, so I am not holding this objective now. Finally, Celestine butchers both of the remaining guards. I think my Vexilla dude must have died to shooting in a previous turn. So let's work this out. I only score 1 point this turn, with my sole surviving guard squad, putting me on 10 points. Sisters, however, score both of their home objectives, the central objective, and the bonus point, so they're on 13. He also has a ton of his army left, whereas I have one squad left, so, even if my guards survive, he'll continue to outscore me. I therefore concede.
That was pretty bad. Did you like that? Absolutely not. How about that?
Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration of course, as I still enjoyed the battle, but yeah, I played friggin' terribly. Reminds me of battle number 14, against Torx, where I basically lost straight away cause he was able to advance and charge in turn 1. Any suggestions regarding how I should have handled the transport situation would be appreciated. With their 4-up and vulnerable save when near the linchpin characters, I felt I had no efficient way of taking them out, and they were able to repeatedly tag my bikes and other units. And man, I didn't even get chance to touch his exorcists and backfield squads and whatnot. I really liked his army composition, to be honest. Nothing too fancy and nothing over the top, just lots of bodies, bolters, and melta, and a fair bit of armor. Well, thanks for watching.